This mother jokingly spills out her biggest wish in front of her sons, receives the present of her life after 10 years.
But before we start, please take a moment to give this video a like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll never miss these great stories.
There's no denying that mothers are God's most precious gift to us, and their love is a blessing bestowed upon us. Being a parent and raising up kids is no walk in the park, but our mothers dedicate their whole lives to do that too, with a smile on their face. It is often said that a mother is able to fill in for a father, but the absence of a mother is a void that no person can ever fill. Their love is irretrievable and irreplaceable. Only a parent knows how challenging the job of bringing up kids can get at times. It gets even more arduous when the responsibility solely lies on the shoulders of a single parent. From looking after the kids to meeting the expenses of their education and lifestyle, one has to do it all alone without any emotional or financial support, which can sometimes be distressing. Mrs. Nust was a single mother, and she had gone through it all in the journey of raising up her kids, and there's no denying that she was one heck of a mother like all the single moms out there. Our story sheds a light on two brothers, namely Daniel and Jason Nust. The brother duo loved their mother more than anything in this world, and they always tried their best to appreciate her for everything she had done for them. They would often buy her flowers and made sure to always take care of her needs, but the two brothers didn't want their mother to settle for less, and one day they would give her the surprise of her life. We all know how crazy and sweet the bond between siblings is. At times you feel like killing them, and in other moments you miss them like anything when they're not around. There are secrets that no one else but we siblings share, and there are moments that we keep safe in our hearts forever. Jason and Daniel were nothing different, and it will be safe to say that these two brothers were partners in crime. They knew each other better than anyone else, and now they had decided to pull off the challenging task of fulfilling their mother's dream, and they were in it together as a team. When Daniel and Jason were little kids, their mother would work two jobs simultaneously to meet the family's expenses. She was the only one in the small family of these three who was supposed to make the money and pay all the bills, as Daniel and Jason were only kids. To rely on a sole job wasn't a wise idea, and Mrs. Nust had to pick up a part-time job at the same time to take better care of her children, but this just wasn't enough. Although the mother always did her best to meet the family's expenses, as the kids began to grow up, so did their expenses. There were times when she had to borrow money from colleagues and her friends, when she was unable to meet the expenses of their education, as a decent amount of her salary would be used in paying the home loan. But it paid off well, as her two sons grew up to be successful individuals. No matter how tough time got for Mrs. Nust, she always made sure that the kids never missed on important things in life. Being a parent takes more than just paying bills and providing kids with a better education. It's about being there by their side on their big moments in life. The mother always made sure that Daniel and Jason never missed out on birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, their school prom, and every big occasion that stepped foot into their lives. Daniel and Jason had grown up watching and learning from their mother that hard work is the key to success. Their mother was the most hardworking person they knew, and they followed her footsteps while growing up. They lived up to their potential and hard work as their only way of finding success. It appeared as if hard work runs in the family, and that was a major reason that Jason and Daniel persevered even in the toughest of times. The two brothers started working from the very beginning of their teenage years. They picked up odd jobs like circulating newspapers and taking orders at diners, where they could make money without having to adversely affect their education. Both of the brothers still remember how their amazing mother always managed to rescue them in tough times when the two were much younger. Their mother's love and care were all that it took to constantly motivate them to do better in life. And when they did make it big in life, they wanted to appreciate their mother in the best possible way. The brothers were just sitting over a drink one day, reminiscing their old days and having a normal conversation, when they both caught a common thought of doing something special for their adorable mother. It was something their mother always wished for, and the two brothers made a pact to fulfill her lifelong dream. To raise the money that they would need in fulfilling their mother's dream wasn't an easy task at all. To say it was just hard would be an understatement, but the two siblings never had the thought of giving up. They had been hustling for almost a decade now, and the two brothers had a few tricks up their sleeves to make their mother's dreams come true. Daniel was a tall and strong guy by the time he had stepped into college, and it also helped him in earning a scholarship. How come, you ask? Daniel had a love for the sport of bodybuilding, and his physique was quite jacked, boasting of an athletic body that made him the perfect choice for the quarterback of his college team. He excelled in the sport, but had to drop early due to a knee injury, and he shifted his focus back to bodybuilding after recovering. The one thing that motivated Daniel the most and made him better as a professional bodybuilder was the very thought of fulfilling his mother's dream. This was also the reason for him to survive in the toughest of times, while others easily gave up. There were setbacks, including major injuries, but Daniel, with his passion and love for the sport, made sure that his comeback was stronger than the setback. It was Daniel's boyhood dream to become a professional bodybuilder, and he started competing on a national level at a very young age. He was only 21 when he won his first major NPC show, and there was no looking back ever since. However, bodybuilding is a profession with constant competition, but Daniel had learned from his experiences in life, and he always pushed himself off the limits, and his hard work and determination eventually paid off. Daniel had been competing for years now, and he had saved enough money by receiving heavy paychecks as winning prizes. He also worked as a personal trainer, and he was well off and financially established. All the hard work his mother had put in while raising him up was worth it, and Daniel was now about to appreciate his mother by getting her something she had always desired. May I remind you that his brother Jason was in it as well, so what did the two brothers have in mind? It took them a few years, and it was now the perfect time to buy their mother what she had always wanted, as the two brothers had gathered just enough money. But they wanted to make this moment extra special and remarkable, so they decided to wait till her birthday, which wasn't far away. What's the time of the year when you receive the most presents and people act extra sweet with you? It has to be your birthday, even though it is only for a day. But who would mind receiving special treatment on their special day? And I think everyone deserves to feel delighted on their birthday. Jason and Daniel were about to make this birthday the most memorable for their mother, and they had been planning this for long now. The mother could tell that something weird was up, as there stood a camera that was recording everything that happened at the moment. She asked her sons about why she was being filmed, and what the two brothers replied stunned her to the bones. What exactly was her dream? A big, lavishing mansion or supercar? We are just about to find out. Although there's no way in which a mother can be repaid for her hardships, but showering them with our love and care is often the best way to appreciate them. However, it wasn't just an ordinary present like flowers or a piece of jewelry. Jason and Daniel were up to something that would blow their mother's mind, and yours as well. Are you ready to unveil the mystery? We certainly are. Jason asked his mother to head into the garage, but the mother stood still in disbelief. She had never talked or discussed it, and nor did she ever express such desire to own her dream car. She had only mentioned it once or twice in a conversation that happened years ago, and she had never expected her sons to get her the car of her dreams. But what was her dream car? Was she a James Bond fan who always wanted to ride an Aston Martin? Or she had her eyes stuck on another supercar. To tell you, it certainly wasn't a Toyota or a truck, and the mother was as astonished after hearing this from her sons, but she had her doubts. It was natural for the woman to have her doubts, and she started to ask her sons if this was some prank or anything like that, but Jason and Daniel weren't messing around. The woman initially thought that her sons were playing a prank on her, as there were cameras involved and she had never shown a strong desire to own that car. She had only mentioned it once or twice before, that too in a funny manner, but as soon as she made it to the garage, this is what she saw. The woman was more than just surprised, and her jaw dropped after seeing the car of her dreams parked in the very garage of her house. It was a brand new BMW, the latest model of the sedan class that she had always wanted. It was obvious from the look on her face that she had never expected this to happen, even in her wildest dreams. And what she did next might make you laugh. It was hard for the old woman to believe her eyes, and she was in absolute shock by what had happened. You won't believe what she did next. She was overwhelmed and kept saying, "No, no, no, this can't be real." She started to run away from the place like she had seen the sight of a ghost or something, but her sons were there to take care of the situation, and soon they were able to calm her down. Daniel tried to calm his mom down. He hugged her and said, "It's your car, Mom." The woman was taken aback and she was in tears of joy, but can you blame her for that? The car that she had always wanted, and what seemed like a fantasy to her was now her reality, and her adorable and thoughtful sons are to be appreciated for that. God bless this beautiful family. The two brothers made the right decision of buying their mother her dream car. Whatever a mother does for their kids is purely out of love and care, and her efforts can never be repaid. But what Jason and Daniel did for their mother is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Now it was time to live the dream and go for a long drive before popping the champagne bottle's cork. No drink and drive. It is often seen that kids grow up and grow distant from their parents after a certain age, but Daniel and Jason made sure to love the woman who sacrificed her personal ambitions to make their dreams come true. The woman was so happy when she sat in the driver's seat and took her sons out for a Sunday brunch. It was years ago when Jason and Daniel's mother jokingly revealed that her biggest dream is to own a BMW 3. When the three of them were just hanging out together, surprisingly, the two brothers always remembered this conversation, but their mother had no clue about it whatsoever. It was a dream come true for the woman when she raced her way through in the BMW on those familiar streets. Driving through the same old neighborhood and the same roads, but a lot had changed at that moment. It just wasn't about the car, it was also about the fact that her sons had brought her this expensive gift just to fulfill her lifelong dream and appreciated her for being a perfect mother. Daniel and Jason were grateful to their mother for everything she did for them, and the car they had gifted to their mother was a symbol of thankfulness. Both the brothers were thoughtful enough to go to the extent of raising money and making their mother's dream car come true, just the way she did for her sons when they were kids. It's hard to say that whether the two brothers were lucky to have such an adorable mother, or the woman is lucky enough to have such thoughtful sons. All that really matters is that they stay the same happy forever. Jason and Daniel pulled off the arduous task of raising enough money to buy a lavish BMW, a birthday gift which is hard to top. However, Daniel and Jason made it look easy with their hard work and determination, and they were eventually successful in achieving their mission. Nothing's better than bringing a smile on the face of those you love the most. It's not even a question of which generation does an individual belong to, like almost every other individual happens to have an account on social media. It's hard to neglect the power of social media in the present scenario, and the woman made sure to share the picture of her brand new car that her sons had gifted her. She took to Facebook and wrote, "My sons Jason and Daniel got me the present of my life on my birthday, and I feel like I'm living a dream." Mrs. Nust had never expected more than 10 people to like her post, as it was the average count on her posts. But as it transpired, the day was full of surprises. From receiving the best birthday present ever to going famously on social media, it was turning out to be her best birthday to date. Her post had been liked by almost 8,000 people and shared 1,200 times till date, and she was delighted to receive all the positive attention on her birthday. Her post went viral in no time, and everyone made sure to wish the lady a happy birthday. Strangers that she had never known before congratulated her and appreciated the acts of her sons. Her inbox was floating with text messages and comments, but she didn't mind being the cynosure for a short period of time. Everyone likes a little attention. The woman broke the internet with her post, and her story met with different media channels. The woman, along with her two sons, Daniel and Jason, were all over different media channels, including newspapers, local TV channels, and distinct platforms over the internet. The audiences, too, loved their story and wished the best for their family. Let us know what you think about this incredible story. Do you think the gesture Jason and Daniel displayed can be topped? Would you do the same for your mother if you had that kind of money? Well, it's not the gift that matters, it's the intention that counts, and if you manage to spread love and happiness by bringing a smile on the face of your loved one, it's the best gift.